let's preview another big game coming up, Leeds United against Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal, they are the talk of the town right now, 8 wins from their opening 9 games of the season. And is this a big test of character for Arsenal and the young side? They're going to go to Elland Road, great atmosphere. Leeds are a scrappy, kind of nasty team to play against under Jesse Marsch. So, and they've only got 2 wins so far, Leeds United. So a little bit concerned about them, but they need a performance and a result. They beat Chelsea at home earlier this season. So is this one that Arsenal fans will be looking at in the calendar and thinking, I'm a little bit scared about going to Leeds?
They should be. I think the style that you mentioned, the way that Leeds will play, they will get in your face. They will put pressure on the ball, whether it's in the back line, whether it's in midfield, whether it's up top. They will not give you a second to relax and get comfortable. And I think that's something that Arsenal have had a lot of this season. There has been a lot of respecting Arsenal because of the technical and creative ability that they have in that team. It's, well, we got to get numbers behind the ball, otherwise they're going to tear us to pieces. Leeds will take that chance. They might get torn to pieces. They also might cause you a lot of trouble and frustrate you. And we know that there's a number of players in that Arsenal team that are prone to being a little bit frustrated and doing some rash things, getting sent off. And so that, I think, is in play this weekend. We could be looking back and seeing, the Arsenal of old, if you will, from last year, seasons before under Mikel Arteta. It's a really, really tough matchup because they will find themselves under that pressure. I'm not so worried about Leeds as some people are. The results have not been great the last month or so, but the performances have all been solid. To me, Leeds are right where they should be in the Premier League right now. And I'm not talking about in the table, but I'm just talking about the eye test. If you look at all 20 teams and say, all right, Man City, they're a 10 out of 10 team. Arsenal, they're a 9.5 out of 10 team. Leeds are like a 6.5 every single week. And to me, that's right where they should be. That'll put them comfortably mid-table at the end of the season with potential to, I think, grow, 1, under a new manager, and 2, with a fairly young and ambitious squad as well. So, yeah, this is the game if you want one that's not City and Liverpool this weekend as kind of the one to keep an eye on. It's Leeds Arsenal.
Nick, quick word on Leeds there, because obviously there's a lot of US focus on Brendan Aronson, how he's doing, Tyler Adams. Both had really good starts to the season. Obviously, Jesse Marsch, the coach, as well. Seems to be a bit of a trend, though, with perhaps those players and Leeds overall, of starting games really well, going ahead. And then the defeat at Crystal Palace last weekend kind of summed up their season so far, right? They didn't quite take the opportunities. I know Patrick Bamford's still getting up to speed, but just not being quite ruthless enough. And all the hard work, the pressing, hard work off the ball, they're not getting the rewards, like Andy said, for the performances that have been pretty decent. So is that a bit of a worrying trend for a team, or is that something you think will just get better over the season and they will eventually grind out those results?
I do think they'll eventually grind out those results. It'll be interesting if they start to take a page from Arsenal's book, and something that'll be interesting to watch moving forward. Arteta has gotten to these post-goal huddle things where someone's running in instructions and the whole team is like, all right, we just scored. That was awesome. Remember this. Let's do that. Here's a change we could make. I think Leeds needs a little bit of that. The one question I have about this weekend, though, guys, is reacting to going to Norway. That is something Leeds doesn't have to worry about. And with their energy, can they catch maybe Arsenal a little bit sleepy?
Yeah, that's going to be another interesting factor this time of the season, right? When European action really starts to take its toll as we squeeze all these games in before the World Cup break. So it's going to be an interesting one at Elland Road. Leeds United against Arsenal. And I think some people underestimate Leeds. Let's hope Arsenal don't for their sakes. But that's one where I can see there being an upset this weekend in the Premier League. I'm sure the Arsenal fans in the comments agree with that take 110%.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.